Welcome everybody, thanks for being here, and I'm just honored to be here as this guide for the next 25 minutes or so. And Yin Yoga gets into our deep fascia tissues, our joints, our ligaments, so it's a little bit different than you might find in a Hatha or Vinyasa yoga class. It's longer held poses, and mostly floor poses. And today the sequence I have set up targets the stomach meridian, so it's just this place, it plays a vital role in managing our mental state. So with that, we are going to begin in our tabletop pose in all fours. So when you come to all fours on your space, you want your fingers spread wide, palms directly under your shoulders, and the knees are hips width distance apart, lined up right underneath your knees. And our first posture is puppy pose or melting heart. So from this place of all fours, just start to walk your palms forward, melting your heart towards the ground, trying to keep your hips above the knees. And you can melt down as far as is comfortable. Maybe you stay up on forearms. Maybe you come all the way down, chin to the ground. And we're just gonna hold when we get to this place for just a couple of minutes. So letting the heart melt, making yourself most comfortable. Your toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels just right. Just taking a moment to acknowledge if there's any tension in your neck. You want to shimmy around, do what you need to do to alleviate this direct pressure of gravity on the neck. So maybe that means supporting forearms can even become a pillow under the head. And see if you can take your awareness from the room around you, any sounds you might hear, any sensations, perhaps smells in the room or the temperature of the air. And even taking that to the sensation of the clothing on your body. And start to draw your awareness more internally, bring it into your breath. If you can, and the passageway is available and open through your nose, your nostrils, breathe in and out of your nose. Of course, breathe whatever way is most comfortable. And try to find a fluidity to your breath. This nice lulling breath that comes in and out. Try to smooth it out. Let your breath come in and out with ease. Every breath in you take, every inhale, let your belly melt and open and press towards the ground, towards the earth, heart opening, widening. And when you exhale, the breath leaves your body. Just let it go completely. So you breathe in, let your side bodies widen, expand, ribs maybe separate just a little. Exhale completely, maybe it's a sigh of relief. Fighting any urges to shift around. Have to confront our egos with Yin Yoga as we hold these poses longer, and we tend to want to get fidgety and move and shift. We're not here for too much longer. Just find and stay with your breath. If you leave that space and start to wander in your mind, just come back to your breath without judgment. Together, let's take one more breath in through your nose if possible, Open your mouth, sigh your breath out. With your next inhale, widen your palms, start to press up and back so your hips start to melt onto your heels for a child's pose, Balasana. Now you can have knees together or take them out as wide as is comfortable. Trying to melt the forehead towards the ground, you can always place a pillow, a block, a book, something underneath your folded forearms. And maybe you take your arms long by your sides so your palms are by your heels, a little bit of relief on your shoulders. Draw your brow crease towards your nose. If you feel safe and comfortable, just close your eyes. And always come back to your breath. You can pad under your knees. You might need that. Or even place something comfortable in between your thighs and your calves. Then just letting yourself breathe and melt, kind of welding into the ground. Elongation of your spine, tension off of the low back. Just keep the breath fluid. As we're ready to move on, start to elongate your palms forward, spread them wide. Inhale, rise back up to all fours, tabletop pose, drawing your knees back underneath your hips. And setting up for our dragon pose, either carry or float your right leg forward to the outer edge of your mat, so both palms can stay under the shoulders. And either making sure that your knee and ankle are lined up, or walk your front foot more forward so you've got a nice angle down from knee towards your ankle. And then start to unhinge your back ankle, elongate your leg. Hips can be level with one another, and we're gonna melt forward and down in the hips. So really stretching and getting some love into the left hip flexor and groin. And then starting to soften and release wherever we can. So maybe you stay on your palms. If you have yoga blocks or a big pillow or cushion that's sturdy and firm, you can stay on it. If your wrists are in any pain, feel free to make fists, or maybe if it's comfortable, lower to your forearms. And another option for you is to gently lift the sole of your foot, rolling onto the right little toe, letting your knee on the right side just drift over a little bit to open up even more winged dragon. Heart shining forward, soft through your shoulders. Maybe you bow your chin down towards your chest and let your eyes become heavy and hazy with a gaze at the floor, or just close them. Just observing and acknowledging where your thoughts go without judgment. These times are a great opportunity to explore your inner self. Nice deep fluid breaths. Nothing to do or see, but just be present. Let's take one more full breath in through your nose if possible. An open mouth, sigh it out. Slowly rise up to your palms if you were lowered to forearms. Tuck your back toes, shimmy your hips together, and step or float or carry your right leg back to tabletop. And tuck your toes from here with a breath in and find a downward facing dog with your breath out, lifting your hips towards the sky, pressing through your palms. And you can pedal it out, take some time, a little bit of activity and action in the body, or you can just hang out. Knees can stay generously bent, heels can be lifted, or you can find slightly straighter legs, pressing your heels towards the mat. Maybe you nod your head no and yes, and on a positive note. And really actively press the earth away through your palms so any pressure and pain and tension can be taken away from your shoulder girdle and instead used on the base of your hands. Take a deep breath in and a nice long breath out. And on your next inhale, gently float your knees back towards your mat, the earth, the floor, back to tabletop pose. This time carrying or floating and lifting your left leg forward to the outer edge of your space so your palms are still under your shoulders for your dragon pose on this side. You can creep the front toes forward, maybe hinge forward and down with the hips, untuck your back toes if that's comfortable, and just settle in for the next couple of moments. Maybe that means coming back down to forearms or staying upright. Maybe lifting the sole of your foot, rolling your left knee out, and resting on the little toe side. Take your time to journey into the stability and the where you want to be for this shape. And then again, let your eyes become heavy, either behind closed lids or that hazy, foggy gaze at the floor. Take a moment to notice if there's tension in your face, maybe in your jaw. Part your teeth, unhinge the sides of your jaw. Soften your brow. Maybe imagine the temperature of the room is slightly warm. And it's just like a warm glow on your face, on the skin. A lightness, an ease. Soften through your shoulders. Let's take one full breath in together, filling up with a little pause at the top. An open mouth, sigh it out. Gently rising back up to your palms and the sole of your foot if you weren't already there. Send your leg back to your tabletop pose. Take a breath in to tuck your toes. Downward facing dog with your exhale breath, sending your hips up high. Pedal it out or just rest in some stillness. Take what you need. Listen to what your body's telling you. This is a moment for some organic movement. It's all about you. From your stolid, solid down dog, take a deep breath in through your nose. Big open mouth, sighing breath out. On your inhale, float your knees back down, gently land to tabletop pose. We're going to send our weight off to our right hip. And extend your right leg forward. It's deer pose. We're going to make two 90-degree angles with the legs, trying to stay seated on the sit bones. The front knee, your right knee, is going to be lined up with your hip, with the leg, the heel, and the knee lined up as well. Your left knee and hip are lined up off to the side with your left ankle and knee lined up as well. So flex the ankles, drawing the toes back, and try to stay seated on the sit bones. And then from here, you can always take your left heel, your foot, a little bit more forward to the left, or you can keep it kind of in that nice safe line. So you're gonna have a little bit of rotation in the spine here as you rotate towards the front, towards the right shin. And you have the option to stay upright, or you have the option to just walk forward with your palms. Your left hip bone will lift, and that's fine. Maybe you lower to forearms. Just getting a little bit deeper into that right shin, that right hip rather. And if you have something nearby, like a blanket, a towel, a sweatshirt, a shoe, feel free to slide it underneath the left sit bone and inner groin that's probably lifted off the floor if you've chosen to fold forward over the front leg. So the main activation here is just flexing your toes, keeping the ankles actively flexed. Other than that, just trying to soften the body, rest and melt, gravity doing the work as we sink into our right outer hip for that nice deep stretch. The longer we hold our shapes, the more we get to dive into the deeper connective tissues and the joints, the ligaments, everything that yin is meant to be. And I've heard it said that our natural flight, fight, or freeze response takes about 3 to 5, and 5 really being the optimum magic number to ease ourselves out of. And with our technological world and everything happening in the world in a collective and also individually, we're sort of running around in that flight, fight, or freeze mode a little bit, kind of all the time. So when we take time to just breathe and be still, we have time to calm our nervous system. On your next inhale, start to press your palms down, lift your spine back up if you were folded. Shimmy onto both hips and swing your legs to the other side. So now your left shin is forward and your right knee and shin are back. So you're gonna sit up on the sit bones, left knee and hip in line, left knee and ankle in line. And same thing with the knee and hip and knee and ankle lined up on the right leg. Activate your ankles so you're in this 2 90-degree bends. You can stay upright, or you can twist with a little rotation so you're hinging and looking forward, and then start to walk forward with your palms and fold. Keep both ankles active, toes flexed back, and just come back into yourself. Breathe. Let's take one more full breath in here together. Open mouth, sigh it out. Next inhale, gently press your palms into the earth, lift your spine. Go ahead and shimmy both feet forward in front of you for a butterfly pose, bringing the soles of the feet together, the knees wide, or Baddha Konasana. It's also called in Sanskrit and yoga classes you might see. So from here, feel free for some organic movement. You can bend your elbows back, maybe massage the soles of your feet. A little bit of free movement here if you'd like to make some circles with your spine. Keep your sit bones grounded. Maybe you choose 3 circles in one direction. And then go in 3 circles in the other direction. And an option to just fold forward for a few last breaths, or maybe slide your palms down and underneath your legs, and then just rest your legs on top. Sit bones grounded, folding, your nose goes kind of towards your toes, depending on the range of motion you might have here. Wherever you're at, come back to your breath. And breathing in and out of your nose, if that's possible. Take this next breath for someone out there in the world that you know might need a little extra love. Just manifest some love for them in the next inhale you take. And let that exhale breath, just let it manifest out into the world. And now we're all here together in this space. So let's, for each other, unite in breath. 1 full deep breath in through your nose. An open mouth, share some love out with one another in this space. And just for you now, just that juiciest extra bit of love just for yourself. Take a deep breath in. And share some love out with the world. Pressing your palms down. If they're underneath, lift your legs, slide your palms out. And then gently draw underneath your thighs. You can extend your legs long, supporting them. Maybe shake it out, whatever you need to do. And let's just find a nice, comfortable seat. If you want to join me with your hands together at your heart, I invite you to do so. Maybe bow your chin into your chest. I just want to thank you for this time. It's been my honor to be a guide for the last bit of time with you. Take more time for yourselves to find that breath. And a friendly reminder to smile, to breathe, and to go slowly. Thank you, thank you, thank you.